all the different channels. That'd be great. Cool. Perfect. Welcome everyone. It's been a little while since we've done an AMA, so not liking to start off on apologies, but we will start off on an apology. Sorry it's been so long. We've been very busy. It's been before swaps AI. I think TJ was the last time we spoke to anyone as a GMA. So so TJ, welcome to our conversation.
Yeah, no, glad to be here. And thank you guys for attending. As George mentioned, we've been heads down developing for quite a bit now. There's been a lot of changes internally, all positive, and we're glad to talk about some of them with you today.
Perfect. So without further ado, we will get stuck in. So TJ, obviously our latest release has been Archimedes. Do you want to talk a little bit about that to give a bit of an overview and what the concept was behind Archimedes?
Definitely. So just to give an overview of Archimedes, as a company, we were kind of like thinking about the market and how we could serve it in its current state. With the reactor, the focus was on development and audits, but we didn't realize that a lot of the people that are currently developing and auditing are kind of stuck in their way. And that ended up in us, of course, adding extra work to the reactor and formulating Archimedes. And really, what Archimedes is designed to do is decentralize security. If you look at the space right now, it's supposed to be built on the ethos of decentralization, right? That's supposed to be what Web3 is. But what it really is it's an illusion of decentralization propped up by a centralized pillar of security. And that pillar is defined of two or three different main auditors. And unfortunately, over 20% of the projects they audit end up getting exploited. There's been over $25 billion stolen from the market in just the past couple of years. And many people don't even want to get into Web3 seriously because of security problems. Archimedes was our way of branching the technology we've created with the reactor and to individual retail users, and with the vision of decentralizing security.
So Archimedes is the front for an audit tool. It's in layman's terms. It's going to be the user interface.
Essentially, yeah, it's like the distribution mechanism for important elements of the reactor. So we want retail users to be able to understand security. We want the end user to be able to understand security because it's the token holder that's what security matters for, right? But as of right now, security costs tens of thousands for audits. It's only designed for the project itself. The project itself can decide whether or not to fix the exploits that the audit presents. It doesn't work out for the end user. Archimedes is really trying to redefine that paradigm.
Perfect. And do you want to go into a little bit of the bare bones of Archimedes, seeing as we've touched on that? As in sort of, we've had a few questions on Discord and sort of with regards to the technical elements of Archimedes and why it's taken sort of why we decided that would be the next sort of sort of deployment block over say other areas of the business.
Absolutely. So when it gets into the technical bare bones of Archimedes, there's three different elements to consider. What is the integrations into the reactor that we are going to build into it in the future? One is the back end and how we store data that's generated. And one is its ability to converse with and organize data from various different LLMs. So the idea behind Archimedes really is decentralizing Web3 security. But the way he does that is he takes the understanding of LLMs currently that exist in the market. Some of you guys might have heard of Vertex. Everyone's heard of ChatGPT. We take the understanding of those language models of code. We disseminate that through custom prompts that we've built, through APIs that we have connected, and then we produce an audit on the back end that the user sees. And throughout that whole process, whenever a question is asked and an answer is produced via Archimedes, it's mapped into a vector database that we have. And as we prepare to essentially onboard the reactor in Archimedes, that data will be used more and more. And not only will we have the ability to converse with the code conversationally, like what we can do right now on the LLM front, we'll be able to understand and show more nuanced audits, if you will, with the reactor's level of understanding fully integrated in Archimedes. So I guess the way to look at the, where the product stands right now, it's really in an MVP stage. There's a lot of things that we want to build around him, and especially in relation to integrating the reactor technology.
Perfect. Okay. And obviously going forward, you'll be able to sort of talk to Archimedes about the audits that he has produced at your request, and integrate with some sort of other cool mapping functions of the reactor.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're working on.
Perfect. So on that note, another question is, how does this fit in with Swaps AI with one product, and the reactor is another product, and now we have Archimedes? How does this all tie in nicely with those other two products?
Well, so the way I like to look at it is the reactor. It's a core piece of technology that is set to power all the offerings that the company puts forward. With the reactor, we have several unique benefits that aren't seen elsewhere in the market. We have a semantic understanding of code. We don't just understand it from a line by line level. We can actually dive into it. We can compose that code with generative functions, and we can map it to have a graph of thought, if you will, over time, which allows us to perpetuate a higher understanding of code, changes to it, and potential exploits in the code. Really, what Swaps AI is and Archimedes is just distribution mechanisms for the technology that underlies the reactor. As of right now, where the reactor stands, it's mostly like senior developers, researchers, and really high level theoretical people that can use it on a daily basis without trying to use the tools that they have now, because we provide that level of understanding. And it's also not productized as we want it to be yet. And what Archimedes and Swaps AI does for us is it's allowing us to take that technology that's at a really high esoteric level in the reactor and package it in a way for as many people as possible. Similar to Midjourney, you look at Midjourney and the technology that's behind them, DALI, other advanced AI algorithms to generate those images, but any degen can go on their server and just talk to it right now, and it generates an image. If they wouldn't have packaged it that way, it would have been very difficult for the average person to interact with it. And we want to do that similarly with the reactor. It's just essentially allowing as many people as possible to interact with it through Swaps AI and through Archimedes.
Perfect. Okay. So the other thing I've got for you, TJ, here is Reactor. You spoke about the reactor. I didn't say I was going to be super friendly because I am speaking on behalf of the community. Where, how, why? We haven't heard about it in a while. I know you had some updates with us yesterday, so maybe you could brief everyone up on those updates.
Absolutely. So I've kind of dived into this before. I was demoing some of the new features. Some of you guys might have seen Eve's comments on the reactor and where it stands. We want to really release a standalone version of it when the market is starting to pick up more. But that being said, we are integrating versions of it and access to its underlying technology through Archimedes and Swaps AI as we speak. Henry has been working on the back end of the reactor to get it ready for multiple teams to work on it. We've also been developing our technology that syncs conversations between different LLMs into one standpoint. And we've been developing the database that's going to take all of the questions, all the responses, and the diagrams generated and sync them over time. So, and I can actually, I'm going to dive in a quick demo for you guys in case you
Nice.
missed our last AMA. Let me know once you can see my screen.
So whilst you're doing that, TJ, so basically there is an element of tactical delay on this with regards to sort of launching the Reactor as a product.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Can now, yeah.
So here's the Reactor. Here's the Uniswap contract. It's about 800 lines of code. You guys are aware we can map this code instantly in the Reactor. We can understand it from an entity relationship standpoint. We can edit the code with generative technology. But what we've pushed more recently is our actual AI integration into it. So here's a constructor function. I can generate, basic understanding and explanation of it, as well as actually changing it as well. So here, for example, and actually I'm going to remap this contract. See if I still have it in my clipboard. Oh, that's Robinson's Telegram here. Let me pull it up. Search box.
Whilst you're doing that, TJ, I'm going to address a couple of the other questions we've had come through from the community. So are you updating the roadmap soon? The answer to that question is yes, we are. We have actually done it. It exists, but it's quite high level. So we are going to press down a little bit more into the weeds, not to a ridiculous degree, but it's very high level at the moment. So with all these latest advancements, and now that we have a couple extra products that have sort of slipped in, like Archimedes, we had to restructure it. So that will be published shortly on the new website. Is that right, TJ, as well as the any other updates on the website as well?
Yeah, we're going to be pushing that soon.
Cool. So hopefully that answers that question about the roadmap, and we appreciate how important that is. So TJ, are you ready to jump back in across over to that?
Yeah, I was just showing you guys the functions, the AI functions that are public currently. Like I can take massive amounts of code. I can explain them instantly. I can change them with this chat box that exists right here. And this is part of what's going to feed into Archimedes and Swaps AI. We're essentially taking our deeper understanding of code, our instantaneous understanding of edits, and pushing that out through the distribution mechanism that is Archimedes and Swaps AI. And yeah, that's kind of why we haven't focused on releasing Reactor as a standalone product prior to building our users on the Swaps AI side, is just because retail users and people that are trading and actually holding tokens find a lot more value in what the Reactor can do.
Agreed. TJ, I think you had a message sent to your private chat, but before that is the case, the website, updating the website as well, that'll happen to coincide with the roadmap. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other updates that will be coming on that sort of platform that are worth mentioning?
Yeah, we definitely plan on showing our updated, well, it's not updated tokenomics, but our updated tokenomics page. We're going to be releasing that soon. And yeah, there's just a lot of updates coming as always. Perfect.
To go back, I think you showed the Reactor with the with that sort of light sheet interpretation of the code. Not looking to skip past that like it's trivial. It's that's quite the achievement.
Pretty big deal.
To get that back up on the so Because I'm awkward, and I know, and just for anyone else who's not aware, my job is to irritate you on a daily basis. But explain to the, if you can, to the community, like you explain to me, is that how that's different to, say, GPT's code interpreter, or just copying and pasting code into a block. How is that going to be different?
Yeah, let me I'll show you for an example for that, so it can really hit home.
Cool. Okay, brilliant. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to answer another question. So, question was asked: audit improvements and the development of Swaps AI's audits. For example, moving on to multi-chain. Yes, that is absolutely something that is in the roadmap. We are debating where to put that at the moment. There's so many cool products, and in fact, I'm gonna also rope in Farms 3.0 to that mix as well. There's so many products to develop, and you can see what TJ's showing there as well, that it also takes a lot of resources. It's finding out, and trying to best guess the best order. Everyone has their own opinion of where these things should come. They are all still on the radar. They've not been forgotten. But I just wanted to let you know that they haven't forgot about Farms 3.0 and this multi-chain development. TJ, are you still flicking through, or are you ready to show? Cool. Okay.
So,
go for it.
Yeah, I'm diving in just to show you guys like the difference between us and just GPT alone, code interpreter alone, or these other standalone LLMs. So here's Coinbase. I'm going to take their EIP token upgrade, which they pushed last year. As of right now, like if I want to work with GPT, I have to kind of paste the code in manually. If I'm working with interpreter, I can import, but it's still kind of slow and clunky. But if I want to use the Reactor, I could just copy the link. Oh, looks like I have to relog back into my MetaMask. Give me a second.
No worries. Whilst you're doing that, just give me a thumbs up when you're done. So someone was asked about Farms 3.0. It's not a brand new concept. It's nothing that we've invented, but it will probably be a multi-lock farm is what we're looking at. Sort of 4 or 5 farms with different levels of APY. You get a higher APY the longer you lock the tokens. It's not rocket science. Lots of projects do it. It rewards people who lock away their tokens for longer, but still provides an option for someone who doesn't want to do it for such a lengthy period of time, but you just don't get the rewards. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Hasn't been decided yet, but we think that's a much better option than just. We think it's very well. You guys get it good at the moment. Even though the percentage is lower, it's the ability to just pull it out instantly and not really take any sort of punishment or penalty financially is that
it's healthy for some people, but not for the ecosystem in general.
Yeah, not exactly. Yeah. So sorry. Back over to you, TJ.
Yeah. So I took the URL here from GitHub for Coinbase. I'm creating the project that's mapping over here. It's already done mapping. But here's some examples on like why we're better than a standalone LLM. So right now, like instantly, I can understand the code. I have it created into a ERD diagram. I can dive in at the activity level on the contracts, how they work. Then I can also see like visually where the problems are. There's a couple missing contract files that just aren't mapped here. But like, let's say I want to fix those files. I can dive in because I understand the code semantically, right? I don't just have this base level understanding where it's in a line by line format. I can understand it from a graph perspective, which makes the data that we aggregate much more valuable, and it makes our outputs much more valuable. Because
so these highlight.
Yep.
Sorry, I was going to say. So with regards to Swaps AI, the audit element, will this come across into that?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the idea. Is we're taking this really deep understanding and we're providing notifications, updates for users on the retail side so they can keep their money protected. Because most projects in the space are rug pulls and they end up getting exploited. While with a notification system that's actually built with a deeper level of understanding, we can notify people before that crap happens, and they can get their money out.
Disclaimer: when TJ says most projects are rug pull, what TJ actually means is there are some projects who are indeed bad actors and not the all in the space.
Some projects.
Yeah. But it's a great point, and obviously what essentially we're doing is saying here's the audit and here's exactly where those exploits are. So you're just giving more and more transparent information to the user, so they haven't got to pay 10 grand for a smart contract audit from say one of the larger centralized companies that will remain nameless. Perfect. Okay, thanks for bringing that back up again, TJ. I think it's a very cool part of the Reactor that obviously hasn't been shown off much because it's sort of still being developed and is relatively new, but it's a very impressive update. Any partnership news? I mean, exchange news. No, I'll answer the exchange news. There's no exchange news. We're very happy with. Am I on my own? I'm on my own. Yes. Okay. There's no exchange news with regards to any updated exchange at the moment. We're not looking to sort of push any further than that. We're really happy with our partners at MEXC, and we feel that's going really well. Partnerships, TJ, any partnerships on the horizon or anything with any other sort of projects that you can speak about at this moment in time?
We've definitely been building our partnerships in the background. Before, it was more from an internal perspective on how we're going to work with people. It's like you can use the Reactor for X, you can use the Reactor for Y, but X and Y were limited to internal use. But right now, we've really been talking with partners about how we're going to utilize this for their community, or how their community is going to interact with our new products, which is exciting because we're not just a B2B company. We can actually impact who matters, which is the end user at the end of the day, and the token holder.
Okay, perfect. Questions, obviously going back to the Reactor. Someone asked, how is the testing going with developer DAO? Any feedback from them, or because of that sort of strategic delay, are they sort of being held off? What's the news with those guys?
So we're having that strategic delay, like you mentioned, and we're going to be holding off on that until we decide to release the Reactor as a standalone product, more catered directly to developers rather than retail users. Okay,
perfect. Someone asked about the Reactor. When it launches, will it be able to? You might have said this, TJ. I cannot confirm or deny whether you did or not. Will it just be able to be tailored for smart contracts or full stack apps as well on launch? I think I know the answer, but
so on launch, it's going to be mostly catered to smart contracts. That's what I'll say. Mostly catered.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So Logan in the background that's I've come to the end of my structured questions, TJ, that have been DM'd and messaged to me across Telegram and other areas. When is Henry coming back on AMAs? There have been a lot of changes since he was last on one, and would be interesting to hear his take since then.
So Henry will be coming back as soon as we can display a lot of the work that's been going on in the back end. A lot of that work is just very code centric, so there isn't front end pieces that are developed that we could just dive into, like doing a demo with, without revealing our secret sauce, right? So Henry is locked away right now. He's on top of a mountain. He's meditating half the time. The other half the time he's coding. He's just been completely focused. And as soon as we're pushing stuff to the front end, we can bring him in for another AMA.
Probably worth noting that Henry doesn't spend half of his time meditating. That was a joke. You don't hear it often from TJ, but every now and then he will make a joke. Cool. I've got nothing else here, TJ, and no one's asked any questions at all. So is there anything? Obviously, it's been a long time since you and I spoke on one of these. Is there anything you think? Oh, no, a couple of messages come through. So from a technical perspective, how challenging is it to expand the audit feature of the swap to brand new tokens and tokens on chains other than ETH? And when can we expect a public release? Wait on that one, TJ. because Logan, you may have posted that, but I know you can hear me, Logan. So why don't you hop on? You haven't got to put your camera on because I know you're shy. But why don't you hop on and explain that, because that's going to come directly from your mouth. Whilst we're waiting for there he is.
Hey guys. So yeah, I mean, from a technical perspective, there are a lot of challenges. We do need to get some of this data from places where it might not yet be available. We also have kind of a compatibility challenge where some of the data from other sources, especially if they're brand new, won't be good enough data to ingest into our kind of auditing system right now. And so we are working on that. There are definitely workarounds. But you know, right now, where we've been in terms of product development, a lot of it has been on expanding the, as TJ mentions, distribution channels that we can use to then further, you know, the impact of these audits that we're going to be making. But rest assured, that is on the horizon. It's definitely something we consider and talk about a lot. And a lot of work has been done toward that feature. But yeah, I think for now, I think that's a pretty good answer as to how technically challenging it is. There are challenges. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. So keep your eyes out on some updates coming around that.
Thanks, Logan. Nice to speak to you, mate.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see you as always.
Another couple of ones come through. We've got when can we expect audits running on all contracts and not just CMC listed ones? Again, exactly the list I spoke about earlier with all the different products. It's trying to find an order to fit them in. One thing we haven't mentioned is that we have got a very important but boring update to do, which is going to take about 4 weeks, and that is that will massively improve some of the people who are struggling with Wallet Connect issues. It's to do with the versioning of Wallet Connect. I won't go too much into the bones of it because it's not important. But what it will mean is the whole platform will be refactored, so 99% of those issues will be ironed out. So it's a very necessary thing, because I know it's been a bit of an issue, especially from Sam as the community manager, as I dance and deal with loads of issues surrounding that. So yeah, that will be changed. That's one of the next updates, actually. Again, it's not that glamorous, especially if you haven't had a Wallet Connect issue, but it's very important. I've got nothing else on any other. Let me just. Oh, right. So yeah, the last comment is reference Archimedes. I made this comment actually, and I have to confess I stole it from Logan. But basically, if you look at if you look at Archimedes as a tool, as TJ's explained, this is the worst version it will ever be. It will never be worse. As the large language models evolve, as our vector database grows and evolves, as our understanding of the semantic mapping that TJ mentions evolves, it will only get better. It will only become smarter, more concise. So when you're looking at Archimedes, every day he will sort of step forward and mature, so to speak, if you want to look at it that way. So 2.0, 3.0, he'll be better and better and more useful, especially when we plug in all the audits and stuff as well. But we wanted to release it just to show you, because we think that smaller, more agile releases are more beneficial, especially for those with shorter attention spans. Like McToken. Cool. TJ, is there anything else that you want to mention, or that you don't think we should have covered in this stage?
I think we covered things pretty well, at least to the stage that they should be covered right now before we push out announcements about them. But all I can say, guys, is if you look at the Reactor and how we are flexing that to be released through Archimedes and through Swaps AI, and how we want to hit the largest user base we possibly can, there's definite implications to our token that we're talking about over time, and potential utility, utility enhancements being added to the token to assist with Archimedes becoming smarter over time. So that's all I'll say for now.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said, if I'm honest. I think, like, so it's not as if people have been left in the dark in the community. It's just we haven't gone on verbally, and so obviously we've got a lot of new members, a lot of new holders. So for those of you to gaze upon our ugly mugs. Apologies, but it's hopefully you'll watch this back and it will answer a lot of questions that maybe you had, maybe you didn't know you had. So fingers crossed, we've done you some justice there. If you haven't, and you have any follow-up questions, put them in Discord or Telegram in the AMA questions, or DM us if it's urgent. Just tag us or whatever, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Perfect.
Great.
Well, I think if that's that, then TJ, thank you very much for coming on and sharing with us the reactor updates, especially, and hopefully we'll do one of these not too the distant future.
Absolutely. Thanks for attending, everyone. And just glad you all are here. As you can see lately, we have gotten better as a company. Our users have gone up. Our holders have gone up. We are really striking the right chord with a lot of people right now, and we plan to continue to build on that. So thanks for sticking with us, and here's to a hopefully prosperous future. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.